we are. Well, Oneida. Actually, Leetsdale and Oneida. Here we are. Look at this big, wow. Did you know the police even had a truck like this? Look at this truck. Or do we even call it a truck? Let's see if it pulls out. Look at it. Let's see. Some kind of tactical vehicle. Here it comes. Look. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. There's Brian. Man. There they go. All right.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, all. What's happening?
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Appreciate you being here.
Man,
Did you get my pop-up?
Yeah, well, tell me what's happening.
So, you know, there's about at least 5 dozen people, government employees from at least 4 different agencies, Homeland Security, DEA, ICE. We believe we saw a Denver police representation here as well. We did see them enter Building A. They did all 3 floors simultaneously. They used over 3 dozen people to pull 2 people out of one building. In addition to MRAP's Department of Corrections bus was here. So they're using heavy militarized weaponry, ARs or M16s on site as well. There's a heavily armed presence. For what I saw was 2 people being pulled out of one building. We did not see mass quantities of goods or packages coming out to indicate that it was a drug storage or anything like that. So as we are here in Denver, Colorado, where Mike Johnson said that we would not have police support, we believe that the Denver police was on site and in support. And what we're looking at right now, this isn't Homeland Security. It's a military vehicle. It's a weapon of war, and it's being used here in the city and county of Denver to intimidate U.S. citizens. This is the tragedy of our world today.
All right, Brian, I'll come right back and we'll keep
I gotta go to
updating.
my job. I'll see you later.
Okay, got you.
They can make us be silent. Stand up, fight back. 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 We're not gonna go into our houses and be silent. They want us to be scared. We're not gonna be scared. We're gonna keep on coming out. We're gonna go to the Capitol. We're gonna go to every building, every damn building that it takes. And we're going to let people know their rights. We're going to poster. We're going to let every single immigrant, we're going to let every single person know of their rights. Because they think they're going to keep on going. It took hundreds of them to do this today. How many people did they get today? 5. They got 5. 5 people. And that fucking sucks, right? But guess what? We stand up. We're standing up. And fight back. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. We can't be discouraged. We can't be discouraged. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep fighting. We're going to be at the Capitol today at noon. We got to be together. There's going to be thousands of people. And we're going to be there again on Saturday. And we're going to poster every damn building in this city so that people know their rights, so that these people, so that these agents cannot abuse people's rights. We have to know our rights. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrants are under attack, What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! We saw them going door to door. We asked them for warrants. We didn't know our rights. We didn't see any warrants. We didn't know their rights. We didn't see any warrants. We didn't know our rights. How come we didn't know their rights? We didn't know our rights. Community members know their rights. We're immigrant rights. What do we do? What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. These people came out here. In the top control of our communities. But we are not scared. We are ready to prepare our community to stand our ground because they belong here. Our immigrant neighbors belong here. They came out here with an army of people with guns and technology and tanks to terrorize people, to terrorize kids as they were just trying to get to school. Shame on them! Shame! We know, the community knows that raids do not make our communities safer. It's a fear tactic, but it's not working. The people across Colorado will continue to show up for their immigrant neighbors because we reject the lie that immigrants are criminals. Are immigrants criminals? No! Are immigrants criminals? No! No! They are beloved community members. They are the beating heart of cities like Aurora, like Denver. They are our friends. They are our community members. They are kids, right? Immigrants make our community great. And we will continue to fight back against this terror. When Trump says go back, we say fight back, all right? When Trump says go back, we say fight back. When Trump says go back, we say fight back. When Trump says go back, we say fight back. When Trump says go, we say fight back. When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. And they're gonna try and take this story to the media and paint it as some big win. But us who are here, we know that they came with around 100 people and they took away 5 books. Some of whom they were just harassing on their way to work. They were trying to get people to consent to searches. But you know what a lot of people did? They do their right and they kept on driving. And that's what we're going to keep doing. Keep educating people. We have rights. When you get hit under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. This is an immense waste of resources. An immense waste of resources. You know what people need in these communities? We need food. We need education. We need housing, right? But instead they send all of these agents with all of their guns and big tanks to terrorize us. But you know who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. When our rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. We will not be intimidated. Aurora, Denver, Colorado stands with our community members. When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Trump says go back, we say fight back. 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 walk out the door.
Here we are. This is off of Cedar Run Apartments, actually off of Oneida and Leetsdale. This entire complex seems to be under siege. There are all types of troops. Look here. Look here. All types of alphabets here. ICE. Police. I would assume Denver police. I believe we're in Denver. It's like a war zone. HSI, I don't know what that means, maybe Homeland Security. Incredible tactical weaponry and vehicles. I can only imagine what residents feel like being in here. But it is tragic. Here they go. Okay, so we are in Denver. We're looking at all types of alphabets, police, but we don't know if it doesn't, you can't tell if it's Denver police. It could be, they're in green, this could be the SWAT team. I would imagine if these are local police, they would be, look, here's someone that's being detained. You see someone being detained right here. Someone being detained. What's it like in there? How are you? No speak English? Can you speak Spanish? What's happening in Spanish? Say it in Espanol. So, look, here's someone that is being detained right here. You could see right here. This is someone that's detained right there. There's a detainee right there. Police, that's with ICE. They're with ICE being escorted by police, which I would assume is Denver police. And then there's HSI, is that Homeland Security? So if you're thinking about this, if it is police, that has to be Denver police inside of the Denver jurisdiction. So Denver is participating. And I would imagine that is the SWAT unit. I don't know. Don't take my, like, I'm just assuming. So there's one that is detained right there, gone. Escorted by HSI, police, FBI, HSI, police. The ones that are identified as police just say police. It doesn't say Denver police. So then that is Denver participating. But this one says police, but it says ICE. One says ICE on the back of their actual apparel. But then there are some that just say police. The FBI are visibly marked, so you can see FBI. You can see the FBI. You can see police, ICE, but there are other uniforms that just say police. They don't say anything other than police. Can you imagine someone coming to your home or your business or your school, and it just says police on their uniform. I don't know how that would identify what law enforcement, or if law enforcement, but there's clearly FBI. They're wearing facial look at here, police, HSI. That's Homeland Security Investigations. Those Suburbans are filled with police. All of these vehicles pulling out right now are I would imagine Homeland Security. You could see the actual, looks like military or police personnel inside of these vehicles. This is a very sad sight. It's a very tragic sight. There's going to be a rally at the state capitol beginning at 12 o'clock today, 12 o'clock at the state capitol. And I would imagine more information would be coming. But look at all of these vehicles. All of these vehicles are law enforcement. Even this little, let me take a look. Even inside that little Saturn right there, that is a law enforcement vehicle. That does not appear, the Camaro does not appear to be law enforcement. Those seem to be residents coming out. But if you look at what's taking place, all of this is law enforcement. All of those law enforcement vehicles are now heading up Oneida. I wonder where individuals are going to be detained. But ICE is certainly in Denver, in Aurora. These are federal agents. But I would say in conjunction with local law enforcement. So I would not say that, or it would be hard to believe that Denver is not a part of this. Denver Police Department is not a part of this. I would say that would be hard to believe, but there's nothing that is marking the Denver Police Department. But when you see those green units, that could have been the SWAT team. Let me see if I could get some more information. There they go. Looks like folks are pulling out now. Look, it looks like they're pulling out. Yeah. It looks like they're withdrawing, or they're pulling out. It looks like they're pulling out. Looks like they're pulling out. FBI, sir, did Denver Police Department participate with you today? Did the Denver Police Department participate in this today? No? Is that a no? Any participation of the Denver Police Department? No. That's a no. So FBI says that Denver Police Department did not participate in this today. So whatever those uniforms were, that just said police, were not, according to the FBI, Denver Police Department. And so that came directly from the mouth, as you saw, of one of the FBI agents. They are saying that the Denver Police Department did not participate with them in this particular, I don't know what you would call it, a raid, a siege, I don't know if you call it terrorism. I don't know what you would call it. However, on the corner of Leetsdale and Oneida, the residents here will probably, now as you can see, now this is open. They have gone. Cedar Run Apartments. Look at here. This is Cedar Run Apartments. Right here. Excuse me, are you a resident? I'm going to try to find a resident and speak to perhaps a resident that endured whatever took place here. You can see right now this has been vacated. This has been vacated, and these are individuals that are coming out of their homes. This is This is unheard of. This is unheard of. You know? Hola. What happened here today? It was like they under siege, huh?
I don't know, bro. I ain't got to worry about none of that shit.
I hear you. Okay, so I don't know. I think there are some residents that are coming in or out. You know, I just want to see if I could talk to a resident, because a few moments ago you could not come up in here. This is unheard of. What happened in here today?
The DEA came through.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, they just came through. I don't know what for.
As a resident, what is it like to have to, or be in an environment with all of that personnel? It seemed like a war zone.
It did.
How are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself?
I'm
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
You take good care of yourself, all right? I mean, I think residents are going to need some type of support in this environment. But wow. How are you doing? You're going to be all right? All right, you all right?
Yeah, I'm just checking. I'm an attorney, so
Okay.
I'm just volunteering here, making sure.
Can you give me an idea of what happened? Because it looked like it was a war zone. Hold that for me.
Just from what I can tell, I mean, I just got here. I'm part of the Colorado Defense Bar, just on their listserv. They sent out kind of a call to action if anyone's in the area. I happen to live in the area, so I saw what was going on in the news. I came by. When I got here, they were still holding off the perimeter. Asked them, you know, what they're doing, if they're leaving soon. They said they're leaving soon. I heard there was maybe 3 arrests. I didn't see them actively arresting anyone, and there was probably about 4 or 5 looked like armored kind of trucks rolling on out of here. About 5 minutes after I got there on the perimeter, everyone left. I just wanted to do a check and see if everyone's okay, making sure that, you know, no one's being detained in the leasing office. Leasing office is totally closed. I don't see anyone from property management here, so I don't know if anyone's.
We did see one person that I saw that was detained that they took from this area, and I have no idea where they took them. They went, you know, clearly up Oneida, and then just as a resident, I mean,
You're a resident?
I'm not a resident, but I'm just saying if a residents that are here have to be under some sense of shock, you know what I mean, to experience
regardless of their status. I mean, this is their home, their neighbors, everything like that. I mean,
Wow.
if they're coming here and doing active operations without property I mean, I don't know if it's sanctioned by property management, I don't know if it's sanctioned by their attorneys, but to then come here where people live, regardless of their status and their residence, without a warrant, doing operations, trying to catch them as they're leaving. I mean, I'd like to know are they talking to you know, light people? Are they talking to, if I walked out of a residence, would they stop me and ask me for my documentation status? So those are kind of the questions that I have. Whether there's anything to do about it with the federal government the way it is now, you know, that's, you know, unfortunately yet to be seen. But, you know, I'll continue to do what I can just to make sure that people's rights are protected. I wish I could have seen who was getting detained, advise them of their rights, but
What rights do they have? What rights do individuals have? What should they know?
They should know that they don't need to provide anything, documentation or otherwise, without a valid warrant. No one can just, ICE agents, anyone can't just walk up to you on the street with no reason and say, hey, here's, you know, give me your documentation, give me your ID. They don't have to say anything. They can continue about their day. They need to have a reason. ICE officers, same with local cops, they have to have a reason to detain you. They can't just stop you on the street. They need to have a reason. And just because you're at an apartment complex that has received bad publicity for, you know, the the alleged gang activity does not mean that, you know, anyone that comes out of their space of living, their apartment, that looks like somebody that, you know, they may want to talk to because of the political rhetoric, you know, that doesn't mean that they have the right to go up, ask them for their documentation in front of their kids coming out of their residence. That's just not allowed.
Where should folks reach out to? Are there numbers folks can call for, recourse? What would you advise?
Colorado Legal Services, ACLU, you know, Colorado Economic Defense. I mean, they focus on a lot of tenants, advocates' rights too, because there's some evictions going on as well. Those are resources. You know, but also, you know, reaching out to looking up, you know, immigration attorneys, criminal attorneys. A lot of the criminal defense attorneys are handling immigration issues as well. We're being trained in it. There's immigration task forces that are going on. There's really good immigration attorneys out there. Hans Meyer is one of them, Tom Ward, just to name a couple. Reach out to immigration attorney, get ACLU on it. Even media involvement, getting the media involved, anything to shed a light on this. They're all about their publicity and their image as far as the ICE and all of that, and Homeland Security goes. You know, anything to show publicly that they're disrupting people's lives, disrupting families, can go a long way.
I want to say thank you for using your profession to volunteer and to look and to see if people are all right. What's your name once again?
Dan Steinhauser.
Dan.
I wouldn't have felt good about, you know, just because I have to visit a client in jail actually in Arapahoe. I live right down the road. I couldn't just, you know, seeing those emails, seeing the news, I can't just drive by. Something like this happens when people in our profession need to, you know, if nothing else, at least use our voice and stand up for people.
Wow.
So.
Well, one last thing, I was able to ask an FBI agent, and I got an answer, surprisingly. I asked, was the Denver Police Department involved in any of this? And he said no, but there were clearly officers that had police, but no other identifying markers on their uniform. That could be a little troubling as well.
It can be. I would assume that there was probably there's a lot of tension between the you know, Homeland Security and ICE and, you know, certain agencies, Denver Police being one of them. I know we're kind of on the cusp. Aurora, Denver, it's still technically Denver. You know, I would imagine that Denver Police probably wasn't involved. ICE agents would consider themselves police, so they can just have a, you know, just generic police. That's all they kind of have to do to identify. I think it was telling that none of them showed their face. Every single ICE agent had face masks on. They don't want to be identified. You know, they're not able to give information. A lot of the ones standing on the perimeter were just mouthpieces. So
wow.
I don't, you know, it's hard to tell who's in charge, who's giving the orders. They're just kind of barking out, you know, whatever they're told. Typically with this kind of a thing, I would imagine there's not much coordination with local law enforcement, or I'd imagine it wouldn't have been sanctioned or agreed upon, especially when we're not talking about being in a public place right now. They're coming to someone's home. They're coming to a apartment complex. This is private property. This is run by a property management company, you know, that runs this apartment. You know, people have been living here for 30 years. My mom used to live here. I mean, there's just a lot of, you know, it hurts. I mean, this is a family residence, so, you know, it's hard to see that, and we just need more people standing up to that. I'd like to see police standing up to it more, local law enforcement. I know that that's tough when they're navigating the federal administration they're dealing with, but, you know, someone's got to take a stand, and if it means that just local nobody attorneys just need to come and make people at least feel okay and secure and ask how they're doing after a traumatic incident like that, I mean, that's important nonetheless. So,
well, I appreciate
my visit, but
thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for stopping and making sure folks' rights are at least being respected.
Absolutely.
All right. Yes, indeed. All right, here we go. All right, everybody. Law enforcement has been here, and now it looks like media is here, and so we are at Cedar Run. The community is going to be gathering at the state capitol at noon. So if you're watching this and you have an opportunity to get to the state capitol, definitely be there. This is a interesting time. It's a tragic time, and I believe this community was terrorized today. Clearly, these residents were under siege, and that's speaking lightly. All right, well, I guess what we'll do is we'll step away and we'll make our way to the Capitol. We'll make our way to the Capitol and follow as much of this as we possibly can. But everybody should have their eyes open and looking out for. How you all doing up there? You okay? See the residents. Residents. No one has the right to come to your house without a warrant. You gotta let them know. Like, you have rights, and no one has a right to just no one has a right to simply come into your residence and detain you without a warrant. And a lot of the activists here were asking the question. They were asking the question, were there warrants? There's Papa Ja. Let me talk to Papa Ja for just a moment. Hey, my brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Negative.
Good to see you. Good
Negative.
to see you. Good to see you.
Man, let me
Thank
just
you
ask
for-
quickly. I want
Yes.
to get a place where I could just ask you about the climate of immigrants in this country, and then also this entire facility was under siege by a host of law enforcement agencies. What's going on in this country right now?
Look, you know, I get so many phone calls as early as 6 in the morning from people from the African community that live in this apartment. Some were detained, some of their doors were busted. I'm here to make sure that they know their right? And yes, so none of us recognize this country anymore, right? None of us recognize this country. But I think this is a time more than ever we need to come together because what's impacting one community is impacting all, right? So I'm at loss of word, but you know, I think it's important that those of us that are here legally, that are from here, whatever, we wrap our arm around the migrant community, right? So yeah, it's crazy what's happening.
So you are going to be making sure individuals are all right. This impacts all immigrants, but also it impacts. It's easy to target and racially profile individuals who are perceived as immigrants. Like who? How do you know who is and who is not an immigrant?
This is why we got to stand up, because it might impact the migrant community now, but the direction that this could go is going to impact all of us, our children. Because the United States always been a nation of all people, right? So what's coming down the pipe is racial profiling. Our kids gonna get pulled over simply because they're black. So look, we gotta stand up. We gotta fight for our right. We gotta fight for human right, and start by just showing up, supporting these people, and we'll figure out this as we go, because nobody knows what's gonna come down the road. So.
Final before you go in, if folks want to get in touch with the African Leadership Group, or they need to call someone, or they need to reach out, what number can they call? Yeah,
so you can visit our website, www.usalg.org, or you call 303-475-5148. As much we might be able to help, as much we're going to need your help, right? So this is a full circle. Let's support each other. Let's wrap our arm around each other to support this migrant community. When we do that, we support ourselves. Because this is our community, we all share it. So we each of us got to do our part. If you are an elected official, this is the time that we need you more than ever. If you are a community leader, this is the time that we need you more than ever. If you're a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, whatever you are, we got to come together and do the right thing for our community. Wow. Thank you, Brother Jeff, for what you do.
Absolutely. Papa Jah, appreciate you. He's going in to make sure individuals are all right. Again, this is one of those calls to check on your people, check on your community, check on humanity, check your humanity. This is a historic moment that will be documented through the annals of time. I want to ask you too, how are you holding up? Like, I had a chance to see what was going on, and it seemed like a community under siege. How are you two doing?
Well, as a native of Denver, like born and raised here, I'm 25 years old. I've never seen anything like this. It's insane to me. It's like something completely shocking.
Yeah, I got here around 7:45 this morning, and it was a lot going on. They had already detained about 3 to 4 people, and just seeing how smug and nonchalant the folks were made me really frustrated. And it's hard to watch, it's hard to be around. I think the best thing that we can continue to do is just educate community members, make sure we're facilitating, participating in Know Your Rights training, looking out for communities. A lot of people aren't gonna be leaving their homes, so like if there's anything we could do to drop food off to people, drop off other necessities, other things that they are gonna need, I think that's gonna be helpful. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a heavy situation.
What organizations? Let me just see what's happening. Colorado People's Alliance.
We work with Colorado People's Alliance.
How do folks get in touch with the Colorado People's Alliance? Because there are a lot of individuals that are going to need resources. They need to be able to reach out or connect or plug into community. How do they do that?
Yeah, they
can send us an email at organizers, ORGANIZERS at Colorado People's Alliance, and you could send us an email if you need any resources, trainings, and then of course
we have other contact information on our website. So if you Google Colorado People's Alliance, you can find us. This is our colors. You can find us on Instagram at Colorado People's Alliance or COPA. We're on the social media websites as well.
Perfect.
So yeah. Thanks, brother.
Thank you for you all. I appreciate what you all are doing. And again, can you let individuals know that there will be a gathering at the state capitol at noon?
Yes. We will be there too. So there's going to be a protest, a gathering there at noon in solidarity with all the efforts for community, and just letting them know we're fighting back. Wow. We're not complacent. We're not going to lay down and shut up.
Thank you so much. There you have the Colorado People's Alliance, and community is gathering. The community is not just laying down and taking this. You see a group of activist voices that were taking place, tweeting and everything. PSL, can you guys tell us where the gathering at noon is? The state capitol, and activity that's taking place. But when I pulled up, it seemed as there's a community under siege. Nothing seen like this. And the weaponry, the military armament. What do you take away from this? Like, how does this land with you?
What we saw today was a scare tactic, right? They're attempting to intimidate our community members and make us sort of cower away in fear and confusion, right? But what was also made clear here today was that community is ready to stand with our immigrant communities, is ready to stand with any community member, make sure that they know their rights, and they're ready to, exercise those rights when they do come under attack like this. It was a disgusting, attempted show of power, but really they pulled up with a bus and they left with about 5 people. And we know that if we wouldn't have been here, they would have tried to fill that bus up.
In terms of residents and someone with law enforcement or perceived law enforcement, because you don't even know, faces were covered. Some uniforms said police with nothing else on it. You could probably purchase some of that at what they call those Army resource stores or whatever. Some were clearly marked FBI, HSI, but some were clearly not. No one has the obligation to submit to anybody without a warrant, regardless of your status. Is that correct?
Correct. You do not have to speak to law enforcement. You can exercise your right to remain silent.
Mm-hmm. And so who do you know was here in terms of all of those alphabets?
Yeah, like you said, there was definitely Homeland Security, HSI, DEA, I believe, was here and at another building earlier. ICE agents were present, both people who are labeled clearly as ICE agents and not so clearly, like you said, just like police. And the FBI was also here. There could have been other agencies as well that I didn't pick up on.
I had a chance to talk to and got an answer from an FBI agent. I was just asking, I said, did Denver Police Department partner with you all in all of this? And he clearly said no. Now, I don't know if that is the right answer or the wrong answer, but it was actually an answer that was given. Finally, my final question, where do you go from here? Where does the community go from here? Where does a community that just experienced trauma get resources to even navigate the emotional impact that just took place, or does life just go on in this new abnormal state of affairs?
Yeah, I think that it's really important that folks are connected with the Rapid Response Hotline and with the Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition. And I think something that was really clear to me this morning too is that there was a few instances where like there was a parent, right, trying to take their kid to school, right, get them to the bus, and they didn't know what to do. They sort of froze up because there's FBI, DHS, DEA, right, all right in front of them. And we were able to go up and say, hey, what's going on? Like, are you guys okay? You speak English, right? One of the people, they spoke French and some English, right? We got somebody over there, talk to them in French, right? Let them know, hey, you can take them out, be careful. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to consent to a search. And you can ask, am I free to go? Right? And just that, like having community support is so important. That's why it's so important that community continues to show up, right? And show like, we're here. We're here as a resource, because in these moments people can freeze up. It's scary, right? Imagine being a kid. You're getting up to go to school and you come out to this nonsense, right? This sort of terror tactic. But it does make a difference when community is able to show up, right? So I would encourage everyone also in the community to get involved, right? We have organizing meetings every Monday, 6:30. Come out to that. Get some flyers, keep spreading Know Your Rights information, because that's how we're going to prevent people from getting taken away. And then we come together as a community, and I hope people feel empowered. Even from this building, we spoke with some young people who were just so fired up, and we said, meet us at the Capitol at 12. And they were like, bet, we're there, right? So that's how movement keeps growing, and that's how we protect our communities.
Where are those Monday meetings, and what's the number to that hotline?
Yes, the Monday meetings are, they've been at Shorter AME Church. I believe this coming Monday it will be at Shorter AME again. You can check the Denver PSL Instagram page for the location, which hasn't been announced yet, but it will be 6:30 p.m., likely at Shorter AME Church. And the hotline number is 1-844. I have it in my phone.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay, and we'll come back and we'll get that.
Okay,
We'll pull it out because people are watching, and it's important for them
Yeah.
to have that information.
Yeah, everyone should put this in their phone because.
Again, we are at Leetsdale and Oneida.
Yeah.
There was a scene that just took place here that was, I don't think if you've been around, you've ever seen anything like it before in this city, at least not in recent times. We saw military weaponry, we saw military vehicles, we saw tactical units. And here's the phone number for the hotline.
1-844-864-8341. And I'm committing that to memory now because...
Say that number one more time.
1-844-864-8341 to report any suspected ICE activity.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we appreciate you. Shannon.
Good morning, Brother Jeff.
Could you hold this for just a moment? Shannon, there was a scene here, and we are right at, it's the Cedar Run Apartments. We're just off of Leetsdale and Oneida. And we're in a community where there are a lot of individuals who are it's multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multiple languages, and an easy target. Probably a very vilified environment. What happened here? How are you processing what took place here?
I mean, I think honestly, Brother Jeff, I just got here. I got here as soon as I could because I think it's our responsibility to show up when we can and how we can, even if it's just to bear witness as you are doing right now. I don't know if Katie Ellis previously talked about this, but I think an important thing about this apartment complex is that my understanding is that this is also ran by a slumlord. And so this was also, I had heard reports that there were fears already at this apartment building because there are challenges with the locks on the doors, people being able to even lock their doors and stay inside their apartment buildings. There's a lot of other things happening here that I really think that we need to be aware of when we're also thinking about interconnected issues like tenants' rights, like habitability issues, like affordability in our city. I have a bunch of questions that I'm coming with, if we are supposed to be a sanctuary city, is there any kind of coordination that is happening where these agencies are coming here getting information about this particular building? So that's what I'm coming here with.
It's really interesting. I was able to right here just shout out, there were lots of questions that were coming from those who showed up about were there warrants, what's going on. I was able to ask an FBI agent, was the Denver Police Department involved in the coordination of this? And the answer was no. That being said, if in fact that is true, what does that say that all of these law enforcement or agencies can show up in a municipality and just do whatever it is that they're doing? How is this coordinated? Lots of questions. Lots of questions,
and I also think it should be a question of what does it mean to be a sanctuary city? Because we have a mayor right now who's saying we're a sanctuary city, but we will cooperate with ICE if someone is violent or if someone is dangerous. And so, who gets to define what is dangerous? And what I am learning by asking some of those questions previously is that being a sanctuary city is really just declaring yourself as such, and then you can sort of in policy mode do whatever you want.
Wow. Well, finally, there will be a gathering at the state capitol at noon. We're encouraging everybody to be there, and then we're also encouraging people to tap into their humanity, not their politics, not their zip code, not their race or their income level, but their humanity. And there's something that's just not right that's taking place when you are just, holding communities under siege. But we'll keep our eyes open. Thank you for all the work that you continue to do. And we are at Leetsdale and Oneida.
Thank you,
all right, that's Shannon, and we appreciate everybody for being here. How are you doing? Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
Well, first of all, can you, if you feel comfortable, could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you witnessed or experienced here?
Sure. My name is Bill Tedesco. I'm a Denver resident, lifetime Denver resident. I'm a homeowner in Lowry. I bought a house there about 30 years ago, and I'm an original homeowner. So I'm here naturally by curiosity. It's my neighborhood. I live right down the street in Lowry, and I'm an East High graduate. I love the neighborhood. I love Denver. I've lived other places. I've been to all 50 states. I came back here. This is my city. I'm concerned about what's happening in my city. And so I'm out here. I'm glad you said something about the rally at the Capitol. I'll try and be there. But for all of you that are out there, please listen intently today about what went on here. And let's all be aware of how our residents are being treated.
For those who might just be tuning in right now and says, well, what went on? What went on here today?
What I witnessed was chaos. It was a lot of people blowing through megaphones, waking people up, climbing stairways en masse. It was chaos. I wouldn't want to have my children wake up to that in the morning. Going to school, it was a ridiculous way to do it, to conduct such an operation at this ungodly hour. Is just senseless and inhumane.
Well, and finally, could you just say how important it is for just people of humanity, of goodwill, to look at what's taking place around them, because eventually it will take place on all of us, if it has not already.
My son is a restaurant worker in Denver, and he's very aware of the situation with migrants in Denver, and I'm curious to talk to him about what's going on and what's going on. I'm curious to hear where they went from here. I don't know if that is out yet, or if the news, have heard that yet, but I'm assuming they left here and went somewhere else.
Wow.
That was quite a group they had assembled,
Well,
with a lot of credentials on that were questionable.
Absolutely. We do know that there was something that took place on 12th and Dallas. So we'll keep our eyes open. Thank you for being here. Thank you for using your voice.
Pleasure.
And I appreciate your words.
All right.
Longtime Denver residents are here and are concerned. And we will keep covering and, highlighting and sharing. But again, hard to describe what took place here. Hard to, I don't know. I'm going to see if I could talk to Kevin Beatty. I'm going to cross over. Like, these are news guys right here. Hey, you two.
Hey, how are you?
I know I'm interrupting, and I know you're the news and all of those different things, but I got to ask you guys a couple of questions.
Sure.
Yes.
We'll do our best. We have to speak in analysis.
Not analysis, but I do want to ask. This question: what took place here today?
Kyle's got that better. I've got Aurora. Yeah. So early in the morning, federal agents arrived. Federal agents were knocking on doors. Some people stayed inside. Some people have been given know your rights information. They understood their basic rights. Didn't open the door, and plus there was a judicial warrant. And there was a massive number of agents here going through the buildings. It is unclear to me how many people, if any, were arrested. There are a lot of unknowns about what happened today, but there's just a massive show of force here at, where are we, 600?
Leetsdale and Oneida.
Leetsdale and Oneida at the Cedar Run Apartments, which have a long and interesting history of...
It's where people go when they're on the cusp of homelessness. The city moves people here when they get rapid rehousing dollars. So and it has some health department violations.
Let me ask this, Kevin, and I won't keep you guys. What kind of images were you capturing?
So this morning, I spent the night at the Edge Apartments in Aurora last night, and so this morning what I was photographing was federal agents here and activists over there, because I couldn't get outside in time to catch the agents in Aurora. Last night I was photographing families with their kids bracing for whatever was going to happen.
Well, it's definitely hard to describe what took place here, and I'm glad that you all are documenting and covering it and sharing what you do at Denver Right, because without the media doing what you do, I can only imagine, how this could escalate. But I appreciate you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Man, always good to see you all, as always. All right, you all, Oneida and Leetsdale, and we will keep you posted. We will keep you alerted. And let me see if I could get across this street here. Know your rights. Absolutely know your rights. And if there was ever a time, that individuals need to know their rights, I would say this is that time. It's always time to know your rights, but if there was ever a time for you to actually be on top of your rights and look out for the rights of others, do that. And don't forget, if you go down swinging, See everybody at the Capitol, 12 o'clock today in the Mile High Income City. I think every alphabet was out here. We didn't see anything that was clearly marked Denver Police Department. We didn't see any Denver Police Department vehicles. We didn't see any Denver Police Department kind of identifying markers. I had a chance to ask an FBI agent if Denver police partnered with this particular effort that is right here in the cusp of Denver and Aurora, and the answer, according to said agent, was no. And so we will continue to cover this, but again, know your rights, and then don't forget that if you go down swinging, you just might score a knockout. Rumble, young man, women, and community. Rumble.